Hey folks, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and get into this tutorial for the Lasso Kickback. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. This is what the move looks like in slow motion that we're going to be learning today. It's the lasso and then the kickback, so it's really a combination of two moves, and this is how we're going to set it up. We're going to focus on the setup here. So what you want to do here is you want to jump, take a couple jumps, take your dominant leg and come back over the rope. That's all you want to do on the first part of this, on the setup, and put the rope under you just like you see me doing here. We're going to look at this in slow motion as well, but all you want to do, focus on the first part of this move, is stepping over the rope with your dominant foot or whatever foot you feel comfortable. You see how I'm jumping here? I take one foot up, I balance myself on my left, I step over and I put the rope under me, kind of like I'm mounting a horse or an amusement ride or something like that. That's how you should think about it here. So look at it again. It's the same exact clip. We're going to look at it a couple more times. All I want you to focus on in this part of the move is stepping over the rope. Just step over the rope and plant yourself on your other foot. Worry about directing the rope later. You just need to practice stepping over the rope and getting control of the rope that way. So again, step over the rope. I would use my dominant foot if I were you. The next piece we want to focus on is pivoting after we've stepped over the rope. So what you can see me here doing is once I step over, I use my left and then my right foot to pivot and do a 180-degree turn so that I'm facing the opposite direction. That's what we want to focus on here, is once you step over, you have to keep turning to make sure that you've turned 180 degrees and you're facing the opposite direction. This is what's going to turn the rope from a frontward to backward direction and is going to allow you to do the kickback. So let's look at it in slow motion. You see I plant myself with my left, I plant my right, and I use my right. I actually push off with my right foot to continue my pivot. Look at it again. My right foot comes down, my left foot comes up, and then my right foot pushes off as the rope is swinging around. Let's look at it one more time. Right, left, and then right pushes back off. And then one more time here. My right comes around, plants, pushes off, and then pushes back off again, and my left foot plants. Now we're going to talk about controlling the rope throughout the entire turn. What I want you to do when you watch this move is watch my right arm. Watch what my right arm is doing. What I'm doing is I'm doing an arm wrap, so I'm flicking my wrist in a forward motion, and then as I turn back around, I stop doing that, and then I turn my wrist in a backward motion in order to get back over to the kickback. It sounds a little complicated, but we'll look at it in slow motion. So let's check it out. Look at my right arm. As I hop over the rope with my right foot, my right arm is going to immediately start turning the rope over my arm and my shoulder. As I pivot back around, my wrist is going to turn in the opposite direction to get back over, to get the rope back over me like that so that I can be prepared for the kickback. Let's look at it again. I'm going to do two. One wrist rotation right there, and then another halfway wrist rotation. Then as I come back around, I'm rotating my wrists the exact opposite way. And then you can see what I'm doing here is I'm getting ready to get into the kickback, which is what we're going to go over on the next part. I have another separate tutorial for the kickback, and it's coming across the screen right now on the top right if you want to click on that. If you don't know how to do that, I would suggest looking at that as well. But all we're doing here is we're coming out of this move, and the rope will naturally come back over you after you've rotated your wrists, and you'll be ready, and the wrist will, and the rope, will be in a perfect position for the kickback. So let's look at it here. I rotate my wrist backward, the rope comes back over me as I step back over the rope. You have to step back over the rope to make sure it comes back over you, and then it's a kickback right there. So it's seamless. It should be seamless. We'll look at it again in slow motion. As I'm coming back around, I step back over the rope. You got to step back over the rope for this to work. So that's another focus area there. Step back over the rope, just like you stepped over it in the beginning of the move, and then kick the rope back over you, and you've essentially completed the move after that. This is the last part of the move, and it's the hardest part of the move if you're not too good with the kickback yet, but if you keep practicing, you'll get it. So there we see it again. The rope comes back over me after I've rotated my wrist backward, and I'm ready for the kickback. Now we're going to put it all together. We're going to look at it from the front view in slow motion in real time and the side view in slow motion in real time. So you see here, I got focus area 1. Let's look at focus area 1. I step back over the rope, I turn, I kick back, and then I'm ready to execute the move again. Step over, pivot, kick back, and I'm ready to go again. We're going to slow it down, not as slow as the first clips, but we're going to slow it down so we can see the intricacies in putting it all together. So remember, you start with a few jumps, step over, rotate your wrists, pivot around, kick back. You can do a side swing to steady yourself. I like to do a side swing to steady myself. Do a couple jumps, get yourself set, step over, pivot, kick back, step back over the rope before you kick back, step back over the rope before you kick back, and then do the kick back, and then you're done with the move. Let's do it again. Step back over, step over, kick back after you pivot. It's not too hard of a move as long as you're able to get the individual parts down. The kickback can be a little bit difficult. It might be the most difficult part of this move, but stepping over the rope is the first part that you have to get down. So we're looking at it from the side again. Do a couple jumps, step over, put the rope under you, step back over again after you pivot, and then kick back. And you can see there, I lost momentum with the rope there a little bit. You have to do this move relatively quickly, because if you don't, the rope is going to lose its momentum, and then it's just going to stop, and then the rope is going to get caught on your arm, and it's not going to continue around you. So you have to make sure that you're moving relatively quickly, but not so fast that you lose control. So we're looking at it in slow motion again. Remember, we're going to keep repeating and belaboring the points here. So you do a couple jumps. Remember, step over with your dominant foot if that's what you want. Step back over after you pivot, and then kick back. Now, if you can't get the kickback portion of this move, that's completely fine. What I would recommend is that you step back over and then you just go into a backward jump. Instead of kicking back there, you just go into a backward jump, which is completely fine. The kickback is definitely the most challenging part of this move, so if you can't get that yet, don't let that discourage you from trying the other parts of the move. Just do a backward jump if you can do it, and if not, do 1 or 2 backward jumps and then stop and then go from the beginning again. The most important thing here is learning something new and just trying something, getting outside of your comfort zone. I remember when I first started trying this move, I couldn't get it. I kept practicing it, and as you can see, from the beginning video, I can do it pretty quickly. Hey everyone, I really appreciate you coming back and showing your support. If you want to continue to show support, please consider hitting that red subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can join me at 9 o'clock every Saturday for live workouts on YouTube. Until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Jump rope to freedom.